Right guys, this is to all the Natori Ryu students out there. I am in Shinosaka and I've just finished a seminar, a Natori Ryu seminar in Wakayama, to the people of Wakayama, that's Kishu. So basically the home of Natori. I've just done a seminar on ninjutsu and it was in for about 50 people and it was really good. And sorry, people are looking at me strange for pointing a camera at my face and talking. So Yoshie has just gone to buy cheesecake, but it's the end of the weekend. I stayed in the temple and woke up in the morning. We did a performance or sort of meditation session of Zazen. We did breakfast in a traditional monk style. I cleaned the temple. Obviously he recited and I listened to. I had to write out the Heart Sutra and I did a full morning ritual basically. So what I want to do now is just give you a quick take of what happened. So we arrived at the hotel, sorry, just got everything ready. The next morning went to the temple where NHK met us, and that's the Japanese television, but we're doing the Wakayama series. And then after, they followed us around all weekend, and then after that we did the seminar. After the seminar we went for a party with the Natori family members and the last members of the Yamamoto family, which is the last Grandmaster. Then, you know, we had watched a little bit of a magic show. The next morning we were back at I stayed overnight then, and in the temple we had a meeting about the future of, you know, what direction Natori should go in. Then the next morning I did the Zazen, cleaning the temple, all that type of stuff. Sorry it's a bit bitty this video guys, but I'm literally on the way home, but basically I've had no time to pick up my camera at all, and if I don't do it now you won't see that I'm actually travelling as we're back in a room. So sorry for the ad hoc video. But then on top of that, what we did is we went to find Natori's houses. So we picked up some maps, one map from 1793, another map from 1840 something, and another map from 1855. And we went finding all the Natori residences. We've checked on every single one of those maps where the Natori were living, and we found out where they were. And what I'll do is I'll show you the videos to them now. So to cut a very long story short, basically I've spent the entire weekend in the home of Natori, giving seminars to the Natori people, staying a night and performing Zazen in the temple that Natori went to, doing it as he would do it. Then after that, of course, we've gone to NHK and we've gone round all the houses. So I hope you enjoyed the little snippets of videos. Sorry it wasn't like me in the temple, but literally it was like I woke up at 5 with a bell, and he said don't film any of this because you can't film certain bits, but then we can film bits later. But I'm literally sat there writing out the sutra and the NHK Japanese television. I've got a camera in my face. We're doing interviews and things like that, so there was just no time, and I'm not joking, it was literally just followed around all weekend. So I've tried to get as much as I can. I'll bang some pictures at the end of this guys, so hope you enjoy the pictures and see how it all went. Excellent. Right guys, I'm outside the shrine at the minute, and on temple, it's a mixture of shrine and temple, and we're trying to track down the last 2 missing Natori documents that we know exist, and they're not here. I've spent 2 years trying to get in here, and we've got the attendants going through the stuff for us, and they're not here, so we're still missing these 2. So just to keep you informed, it's been a really hectic weekend, and NHK here, I've got no time to say anything, they're even pulling me now, so I've tried to get a bit hideaway. So I'll update you in a bit. I'm in the car with Yamamoto-san, the monk, and Yoshie, and we're driving around trying to find where Natori's original houses were. We found 3 houses on the map, so we've got to go around for the different the different locations where they were, and we're discussing whether he actually carried on serving which lord at which time, blah blah blah, just in case you were wondering. Right guys, for those who are wondering, this empty car park here, after Natori Masazumi's time, was one of the houses. This is where one of the Natori houses are on the map. So we've tracked it down, and in the late 1700s, I think we're in the late 1700s one, the Natori family used to live there at that car park, guys. Which is mad strange that it's a car park now. Right guys, they've got the maps out here. And these are maps from the Edo period, like the basic late medieval period. And they've been done, and we're back at the car park here. So just tracking down which one it is. Right guys, a bit of an update. So we've just been checking the maps, and it turns out, see that end there, the block, very old, like these roads are medieval layout. From about halfway to the end of the car park is Natori residence. So from about there, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's old or not, but basically from there to there is the Natori place. Yoshie, what date was this? 18. Right guys, we're at the second one now. They're just finding the date for me. Look at that, your own Japanese speaking team, monk, professional translator. They've got all the dates going. The monks found all this out. It's mint actually. But anyway, my point is this block here used to be not this front building, it was the second row. So probably okay, 1839 is this one you're looking at. Obviously well after Natori's time, but basically from here down to the corner there was a section that was a Natori house there, and it goes all the way back through to the other side. And that was this is a row of samurai houses. Now down there, the reason probably is because there's a villa for the lord down there, so the samurai probably serving the lord. But that is mint. What we found there, we're actually in that direction. See the end here, that says Natori there. And that used to be a river, but now it's been drained and it's now a road. But you can see there's a one road here, then a bridge, then another road. This river has now become sort of houses. So can you see? There's a road going that way. There's some houses where the river used to be. You can see we're in a dip, and there's a road at the bottom. You can see the cars going. You can see there's a crossway there and a crossway there. There's two roads, just like the map says, the two roads. That's that bit there. That's that bit. We're looking at that there, and that's Natori. Natori K. So, which means that corner, this field here, ready for building on. If anybody wants to donate, probably about, I don't know, 200 grand, we can buy that and make a Natori dojo there. If anybody so fancies donating that amount of cash. I'm only joking, chaps. Right, it would be superb, but that is actually where the Natori family would have lived in 1855. We're on 1855, so we're looking at Meiji, one branch of them maybe. Right guys, we're still on our quest for finding the Natori houses. This is not one of them, just in case, but we've just come to the temple that Natori's buried at is in Eunji, and that's the head priest there. That's Yamamoto, who's part of our Natori team, but his ancestor that first came to Wakayama was part of the Yamamoto Kansuke family. We don't know exactly how directly connected, but they were close. And the Lord Yorinobu, Tokugawa Yorinobu, ordered his family to take on the name of Yamamoto's father. He ordered his father to take the name, so they were close to Yamamoto Kansuke. So what we've done is come to, this is the villa of the Lord of Wakayama. This is his personal garden, obviously, that's why it's very nice. On our search of places that the Natori family may have been to, and of course this is where his family would have originally been before they were ousted by the Lord, or not his direct family, but a branch of us, because what you got to remember is the Takeda people, those who were working for Takeda, all came over to Wakayama. Not all of them, there's a good group of them who came over to Wakayama to serve the Tokugawa family, the three great houses of Tokugawa, and this obviously were in Wakayama. So that's my rambling about the Yamamoto family. So you think of it this way: Takeda Shingen falls. He's ill. He dies. His son gets defeated. The samurai, Natori included, Yamamoto, all come over to Tokugawa. Tokugawa then divide into certain families, and some of them come here to Wakayama, and this is a residence where they were dealing, the Tokugawa and the Yamamoto people. So I don't know if you know, guys, but there's here, you can't see it, but basically the end of it has got the secondary cannon for the Yamamoto family. So you can't really see it here, but it shows where the Yamamoto used to have all this, or they have an ancestry with it. Right, guys, there's just to let you know, we're at a villa here, which is this one was built in 1834, and it was originally not in this position. It's been moved like 3 times. The last movement was in like 2001 or something, after 2004. And it was originally the villa where the retired, I think it's the retired shogun, the retired lord of Kishuhan would go. Now, of course, we know Natori would have, you know, visited the lord there, or been a retainer to the lord. We know that was his job. So most likely he visited this, inverted commas, villa, because at the time, obviously, it was burnt down in the 1600s. So the one that's gone is the one that Natori would have gone to. And of course, it's moved since then. So, but in essence, in concept, it's the same villa that Natori would have served at. But obviously in a very much different place, and actually different wood. So he never would have seen that actual building, if you know what I mean. Right, guys, we're still on our little trip, and this is getting a bit later now, but this castle wall here, this is Wakayama Castle, outer wall. So this wall was built by Todo Takatora, and he is the same guy who built the castle in Iga. And he built this one later, or the walls anyway, and he's the guy who ruled Iga, because after they'd crushed him. So so basically the castle that all the ninja are hanging around in, or at the outside of, was built by the same guy that built this one in Kishu. So there's a bit of a connection between Kishu and Iga.